Welcome back, everybody, to the Tennessee Titans franchise here on Madden 23. We've got 2 more weeks left to go here in the regular season as the Titans will face off against the Chargers here in Week 17. Last episode, we played against the Bengals, and it was honestly the game of the year. So in case you missed that episode, you should check it out because it was wild. The Titans ended up winning that game, 37-34 in overtime. And Cincinnati's a really good team. They obviously won the Super Bowl last year. They look like they're probably going to make the playoffs again this year. And it ended up being a really up and down game. We started off really poorly in the first quarter, and then we really picked it up down the stretch. We had some big plays late from our rookie quarterback, Romeo Coloci. Caleb Farley had 2 interceptions, and it's kind of fitting because that's right when we started talking contract extension with Farley. So we're currently at 11-4. We have tied for the best record in the AFC, but we are only the 5th seed. That's because we are tied with the Jacksonville Jaguars in our division, and they currently have the tiebreakers. They beat us all the way back in week number 2. So if the season ended today, we'd play against the Ravens on the road in the first round of the playoffs. I did the math and I went through all the tiebreakers and whatnot. Our game in week 18 against the Jaguars will decide the winner of the division no matter what. Very similar to the Titans and Jaguars in real life. In week 17, both teams already knew the game in week 18 would determine the winner of the division. The only difference is us and the Jaguars are actually good, unlike those two teams in real life this past season. So while this game against the Chargers doesn't necessarily matter for the division, it's obviously still very important for seeding. We can put ourselves in a good position to get a high seed, whether we win the division or get a wild card spot. And having a head-to-head tiebreaker over the Chargers could prove to be very important. Us and the Chargers are both in very close interdivision races. So say both of us win the division or both of us only get wild card spots, we may need this win to ultimately have the better record over the Chargers and thus the higher seed. And then along with that, we just want to put ourselves in a position to get a higher seed anyway. But this Chargers team is really, really good. They're currently in first place in the Western Division of the AFC, tied with the Raiders. They're 10-5. They've been playing some pretty good football lately. They dropped 52 this past week against the Denver Broncos. They've got some good ball players. The last time we played the Chargers was back in Season 2 in the playoffs, a game that we won in a very close battle. Obviously, they're led by Justin Herbert, a former Oregon Duck, at the quarterback position, and he is really good, which is kind of obvious to anyone who has not been living under a rock. So we're going to have to deal with a big-time playmaker at that position with a lot of offensive weapons. Eckler, McMullen, Allen, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, who's hurt, Quentin Spencer, Pat Freiermuth. They've got a really good young offensive line with Rashawn Slater, Luke Coghill, and Corey Linsley leading the way. And their defense is phenomenal, led by Joey Bosa rushing the quarterback, and then Derwin James, who might be the best safety in all of football. So we've got ourselves a really tough matchup on the road in LA. We have already played at SoFi this season. We played against the Rams on Monday Night Football a few weeks back. We got the win, and we beat the Rams pretty convincingly. So hopefully we can have some similar luck back at SoFi against the Los Angeles Chargers. Can the Titans win their 12th game of the season, or will the Chargers win their 11th, which would tie them with us and give them the tiebreaker? Good start for LA. Pat Freiermuth gets 16 yards. He was acquired last year at the deadline from the Steelers. Following play, Justin Herbert looks to throw it, and he is intercepted. R.J. Robinson picks it off, and the Titans will get the football with great field position, not even 40 seconds into the game. R.J. Robinson has been fantastic here in his second year out of Virginia Tech. He has really broken out onto the scene and has been one of the best linebackers in the league. So now the offense has it. 3rd and 10. Up the middle, it's Scotty Pickens who gets it to the 1. Good throw by Romeo Coloci. We'll see if the Titans can punch it in here, take the lead early in this ball game. As on 1st and goal, the King has entered his castle. It's a Derrick Henry touchdown, and Tennessee is on the board quickly as they lead at 7-0, led by, of course, the interception just moments ago by R.J. Robinson. So the Chargers now have the ball, 2nd and 5. Short throw is caught by Samuel Armburster, the young tight end out of Auburn. He brings it to the 16-yard line. Auburn, of course, playing in the SEC Championship in the next up series, which is going to be up on Friday. Shameless plug. Third and goal. R.J. Robinson on the linebacker blitz makes the play. The Chargers head at the 1-yard line. The Titans were prepared for a pass, and it pays off as they send Robinson on a blitz. They decide to be aggressive, and their gutsy play calling will pay off. The Chargers will have to kick the field goal as Ryan Santoso makes the chip shot from 25 yards out. And so the Chargers are on the board now, 7-3. Tennessee gets the ball back, 3rd and 9. Colochi goes short for Kyle Pitts, who does not get the first down. Pitts, of course, back in the lineup. He's missed the last 3 weeks with an injury. Chidobe Awuzie also back in the lineup as he gets torched on that play by Austin Eckler to the 49. Eckler, of course, one of the best receiving backs in the NFL. And so that'll wrap up the first quarter. Titans lead at 7-3. They had the big interception early from R.J. Robinson. Robinson has the 2 biggest plays of the game so far, the interception and then the goal line sack. Early in the second quarter, it's picked off. Caleb Farley with the interception, his 8th of the season, which leads the NFL. Caleb Farley's been the best corner in football this year, and I don't think it's very close. He's been a ball hawk while also being very consistent in coverage. Unfortunately, the Titans will do nothing off the turnover as Elijah Bryant loses 3 on the screen, wrapped up by the veteran Sheldon Rankins. So far, the Titans' offense has been pretty pedestrian through the first quarter plus. Here's Jeffrey Walker on the punt, and it is a booming kick downed inside the 10 at the 6 by Chidobe Awuzie. What a punt for Jeffrey Walker. And so the Chargers will start with very poor field position, but they can't be too upset after turning the ball over to get a stop so quickly. And they're going to quickly respond. Devontae Smith, the former Heisman Trophy winner, gets 42 yards. The Chargers acquired Smitty this year at the trade deadline from the Eagles. Of course, we know him very well from our Eagles franchise last year, where he was a total stud. Austin Eckler to the 32-yard line. Nice gain. Now it's a 3rd and 11. Under 6 minutes to go in the quarter. Herbert looks to throw it. Has time, and he is intercepted again! Caleb Farley with his 2nd interception of the game. He now has 4 interceptions in the last 2 weeks, and his 9th of the year as Cardell Simpson is hurt. Luckily not a serious injury. He'll be fine. Justin Herbert has thrown 3 interceptions in the first quarter and a half today. How about that? So the Titans off the turnover will look to respond. Nice play by Treylon Burks, bringing it to the 40. Now it's a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Colochi looks to throw it up the middle to Elijah Bryant, the talented young back out of the University of Florida, who, of course, will be playing against Auburn in the upcoming SEC Championship. Romeo Colochi now has 69 passing yards. Nice. Colochi on the run with a dot into the hands of Kyle Pitts for the touchdown, another former Florida Gator, and it's now 14-3. Kyle Pitts really trying to make some plays early in his return. He has been a disappointing acquisition. He hasn't been all that impressive when he's played, and that's been inconsistent. He's missed 6 games this year with injury. So the Chargers get it back. They will do nothing on that drive. I suppose it's better than a turnover, though, but instead they will have to punt it away. And so the Titans will get it back, looking to make it a 3-score game before the end of the first half. Derrick Henry on 1st and 20 after a holding call will gain 22. A big run from King Henry. 3rd and 7 now. Colochi scrambles to the left. He has open rushing room and is going to dive for as much yardage possible to the 41. The Titans would call their 2nd timeout, but they still have 1 more along with a minute left on the clock. Romeo on 1st down connects with Kyle Pitts. Pitts has looked really good so far in this game. He's got 4 or 5 catches already, including the big touchdown. 3rd and 3. Romeo misfires for Hot Rod Pryor, and so that'll bring out the field goal team. 38-yard try for Fat Randy Bullock is up and right down the middle. So the Titans lead it 17-3, and that'll wrap up the first half. I feel like Tennessee hasn't been all that impressive, at least on offense. They haven't had many consistent drives. They've just really capitalized off of good field position from the 3 turnovers. It's the defense who's been fantastic up to this point. As we take a look at our halftime report around the rest of the league, we will start in Las Vegas. The Chargers certainly rooting against the Raiders, with both teams being tied. But unfortunately for them, the Raiders are playing against the Texans, who might be the worst team in the entire league. Vegas leads comfortably by the score of 14-3. Justin Tucker trying to cement his potential Rookie of the Year case. Of course, him and Romeo Colochi are in a very tight battle, with Colochi being the slight favorite at the moment. The Arizona Cardinals need to be studied. They started the year off 7-1. They looked like one of the best teams in football, and they have utterly fallen apart. They are now 8-7, and things are not looking much better here. In a must-win game against the 8-7 49ers, they trail 20-10 at halftime. This would be a big win for San Francisco as they look to win the NFC West. The Cardinals had that division won. They went all in at the trade deadline, and they have floundered. And finally, down in South Beach, the Colts needed a win to really help out their prospects of getting a wild card spot, but unfortunately they ran into Kareem Kamara and Tyreek Hill as he flips his way into the end zone. Look at the football here. How does it move like that? What the hell? Dolphins win at 31-16. It's been a disappointing season for Miami. They're only 5-11, but they can't really feel too upset because Kareem Kamara, the quarterback they drafted in the second round, is really, really, really good. So let's go into the second half now. Romeo has not looked like himself, but since we do have a nice lead and start with the ball, we're probably going to be running it a lot. And then defensively, since they're down, they're going to be throwing it a lot. So that's really what we've got to be focused on. Colochi on second down is sacked. Joey Bosa and friends making the play. I think Sebastian Joseph Day is the other one with half a sack. 3rd and 11. Colochi looks to outrun the pressure. He's going to try to throw it away. He'll get called for the intentional grounding, but he does avoid the sack. He pretty much takes on a sack by getting called for the penalty, and so the Titans will have to punt it away. So the Chargers get it back with pretty good field position. 3rd and 6, Herbert up the middle. It is dropped. Cardell Simpson had a hand on it. Cardell Simpson has had total brick hands this year. It's crazy because he had over 20 interceptions in college, and he's forgotten how to catch this season. Nice play by Kyle Pitts to the 41. Pitts continuing his very strong return to the lineup, having one of his best games as a Titan. Following play, Colochi rolls out to the right side on the run, sets his feet, and he connects with Scotty Pickens, who gets it to the 43. Colochi really seems to be finding a groove now. He didn't have all that good of a first half, at least for his standards, but now he's really making some good throws. On 3rd and long, Colochi is a wide open man. It's Hot Rod Pryor to the 22. Nice throwing catch there for Tennessee. Now 2nd and 10. Colochi is wide open rushing room up the middle, and he's going to take it all the way for a 21-yard touchdown. And so it is now 24-3. Why is he dancing like he's high on meth? All right, so the Chargers are going to get the ball back. They trail big as Justin Herbert on first down looks to throw it. He's under a little bit of pressure and will be sacked by big Trey Hendrickson for a loss of 14 yards. The Titans pass rush has been pretty quiet today, but they haven't really needed to produce, as the rest of the defense has been utterly flawless for the most part, particularly the secondary and the linebackers as well. So now it's a 3rd and 24. LA just trying to get something going on this side of the ball. Herbert looks to throw it. He'll go downfield. It's caught by Keenan Allen, who only gets around 21. It's R.J. Robinson again making another play. R.J. Robinson is so good, man. What a great draft pick that has turned out to be. Colochi misfires on 3rd down looking for Pitts, and that'll wrap up the quarter. The Titans lead at 24-3. Again, I feel like Tennessee hasn't been all that impressive today, at least on offense. But they do happen to have a nice lead. We'll see if the Chargers can make a comeback in the 4th quarter, and that's a good start. Keenan Allen with a really nice play after the catch. He is not your ordinary 35-year-old receiver. He looks like, at least on that play, he's about 22. Now from the 10, the Chargers are in the red zone looking to get their first touchdown of the game, and Austin Eckler will walk into the end zone with no problem, making it 24-10. The Titans are still in the driver's seat, but they can't get complacent. They've really struggled with big leads late in games. 3rd and 6, Colochi throws it away, and the Chargers will get it back. The Titans have had some very impressive collapses in the 4th quarter this year when up big. You'd think they would have learned their lesson after the Colts game, but the Chargers are starting to move it down the field well again. After a nice first down by Devontae Smith, LA now has it at the 36-yard line with around 5 minutes left to go here in the quarter. Herbert up the middle, gets it to Austin Eckler, who fumbles it, and it's picked up by R.J. Robinson. The Chargers' 4th turnover of the game, and it feels like that's the play that should be able to ice it for Tennessee. No big choke today, but there's one problem. Eckler was very clearly down. The booth would review and ultimately reverse the call. Unfortunately, it is the right decision, but the Chargers are going to get it back. They're still in the game. 2nd and goal. Herbert has Austin Eckler wide open for the touchdown. Fantasy owners rejoice. Eckler has scored twice here in the quarter, and it's a one-possession game, 24-17. Titans with it back. Big first down over to Scotty Pickens on 2nd and 6. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. The Titans are having another one of those fourth quarter big lead collapses, but they are still in a pretty good spot. 3rd and 7 for the ball game. Henry does not get it. And so the Chargers, although they have no more timeouts, will get the ball back with plenty of time and a chance to tie it. Great punt by Walker. Kanawuzie down and in the field of play. Not quite. He just misses. And the Chargers will get it at the 20. They still need to move 80 yards with under 100 seconds left on the clock and no timeouts. But their offense has been very good here in the fourth quarter. Justin Herbert on first down, backs up in the pocket, takes a shot downfield. It's caught by Eckler to the 47. A quick gain of 27 to start the drive for the Chargers, and since he was out of bounds, it thus stops the clock. Following play, Herbert, short throw, caught by Keenan Allen this time. He brings it to the 40-yard line for another first down. The Chargers are moving quickly. Following play, it's Quentin Spencer. He brings it to the 19. He was the number 1 receiver for the Georgia team of Clyde Williamson, who won the national championship a few years ago. Eckler now out of bounds at the 6. The Chargers have gotten a first down on every single play of this drive. Under 50 to go. Short pass is caught for a touchdown by Devontae Smith. And this game is tied up. The Titans led 24-3 entering the fourth, and the Chargers tie it. Are you a huge lead? Because we would like to blow you. I guess it's carried over from the Knicks series to here. So now we're tied up. The offense really has not been all that good throughout the entire duration of the game, but they're going to need a big drive right here. 2nd and 10. Kalochi with an off-balance throw, but Scotty Pickens still should have caught it. The Titans might actually choke away this game. 3rd and 10. Romeo downfield. It's caught by Burks. Great catch. And the Titans are quickly going to call a timeout with under 30 to go. 2nd and 10. Kalochi connects with Scotty Pickens, who's out of bounds at the 35. Tennessee getting very close to field goal range, but I don't think they're satisfied with field goal range. 2nd and 3 now, about 10 seconds to go. On the run, Kalochi with a dime in the end zone for a touchdown! Kyle Pitts with his 2nd score of the game, and the Titans take the lead with 7 seconds to go. What a drive by Romeo in the offense with an incredible throw for Kyle Pitts for what should be the game-winning touchdown. I know this game was not pretty at all, particularly on offense, but shout out to Romeo and the fellas for stepping up when needed. The Chargers will have an opportunity for a Hail Mary, however, so we'll see if they can tie it. Herbert's got a very strong arm, one of the strongest in the league. I don't know if he can carry it 85 yards, though. Final play of regulation. It's definitely not going to go 85 as it's tipped and incomplete, and the Titans will survive by the skin of their chinny chin. 31-24, your final. Not a pretty game. We have to play better in the fourth quarter. That has been our problem all season long. I can count with both hands how many times we've had a big lead entering the fourth quarter that has been chipped away at. Most of those games we have still ended up winning, with the exception of the Colts game 2 weeks ago, but this is not a trend that can continue. I think this case was more so that we really didn't play like we were up by 21, but we still should have been able to protect a 3-score lead in the fourth quarter against the Chargers offense, who was horrible through the first 3 quarters of the game. And again, a win is a win against a great team on the road. You can't get too upset, but we've got to clean it up towards the end of games, or else it could cost us in the playoffs. Justin Herbert, minus the 3 interceptions, was really good, but the 3 interceptions is ultimately why his team lost. Romeo was a little underwhelming, but the last drive he was very impressive. Both teams ran the ball decently well. Eckler and Devontae Smith were both very good, as was Kyle Pitts. I was very encouraged by Kyle Pitts today. Scotty, though, 3 drops. Got to clean it up there. And then defensively, the defense was great for 3 quarters, and then they forgot how to play football in the fourth. It was really weird. Caleb Farley with 2 interceptions. He's really good. R.J. Robinson with 1. He's also really good. So we are now 12-4 with one of the more uglier wins you will ever see. Here's a look at your other scores around the league. The Jaguars got embarrassed on Sunday Night Football by Seattle 21-7. So we are now ahead of the Jags. But again, our Week 18 game is the one that really matters to decide the division. Players of the week: Baker Mayfield, Mac Jones, Julian Love, and Abijah Travers. Should have been Caleb Farley, who won it last week, but Travers ends up winning his 2nd Defensive Player of the Week award. So we are now the number 1 seed. We're tied with Buffalo for the best record in the AFC. We beat Buffalo back in Week 6, so we had the head-to-head tiebreaker. So if we beat Jacksonville, we will be the number 1 overall seed. If we lose to Jacksonville, we will be the 5th seed in the conference. So we can be either 1 or 5. So obviously there is a lot at stake in this matchup against the Jags in the next episode. We're also going to have our prospect profile for linebackers and defensive backs. I was originally planning on doing that today, but I've been backed up with stuff, particularly the NCAA Next Up series that I've worked pretty hard on over the last few days. So I'm ultimately pushing the prospect profile back into the next episode, which obviously should be up pretty soon. Hope everybody enjoyed the episode. Nonetheless, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.